Welcome to another quick riff with the Anodized Chef. I am your host, Steve Anderson, and today we are going to make a dessert to go along with episode 3. You'll see it at the end of episode 3. We're going to show you how to make it here today on the quick riff. We have an Italian dessert. It's a sweet ricotta, and we're also going to make a fruit compote, a quick fresh fruit compote, and a toasted ciabatta, sweet ciabatta crouton to go on top. It's going to be great. I want you to stay with me. All right, so we're going to get right into it, and we're going to start with the ciabatta crouton. Take a nice fresh ciabatta roll, and we're going to split this right in half this way. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut this into 1-inch cubes, and we're just going to slice right through it. And that's about 1 inch, maybe a little bigger than 1 inch is fine. And what we want to do is we just want to make these cubes, and we're going to season them up with some butter and some sugar, and then we're going to toast them right in the oven. So let's get our bowl here, and we'll pop these right down into the bowl. And I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of butter. And I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of sugar. And this is actually a vanilla sugar, which I'll talk a little bit about as I'm throwing these into the oven. And what I'm doing here is I'm just going to toss the butter and sugar right in there. Almost as if you were making regular croutons for a salad, but these are a sweet croutons, nice dessert. Ciabatta bread is really nice. It's a nice hearty bread that goes really well. Stands up really well in the oven, especially in this application when we're making a crouton out of it. So we're going to go ahead and toast these off. They're going to get nice and caramelized, nice and golden brown. And while these are in the oven, I'll tell you a little bit about the vanilla sugar. What I did was I took a vanilla bean and I split the vanilla bean down the middle and scraped out all the seeds inside the vanilla bean. And I did that with about 2 cups of sugar in a food processor. I pulsed that. And then what I did was I found a glass mason jar, and I put the skins of the vanilla bean right into that jar, and I poured the sugar right in there, and I've got it stored in the cabinet, so now you can use it all the time. Just make sure you don't have that bean into the regular sugar as well when you serve it, but that'll help to give it that essence. So we're going to switch gears and get right into the ricotta mix. And what I've got here is I've got pre-measured about 1.5 cups of ricotta, and this should be enough for about 4 servings. And I've got about 2 tablespoons of that sugar, the vanilla sugar that we just talked about. We're going to put that right in there. And we'll go ahead and put this aside for 1 second. I'm going to show you the other 2 ingredients. We're going to put orange rind and fresh mint right into that ricotta that we started mixing over here. So with the orange rind, what we want to do is we want to take, now you can have a zester, and really it's got little holes on it on the prongs, you just slide it back, or you can just use the edge of a peeler. But just be careful when you use the peeler, because as you slide back, you don't want to get too much of that white stuff right there, because see that's called pith, and that's the bitter stuff. So you want to make sure you try not to get very little of that as possible. And then what you want to do is you want to take your knife and you cut it into thin strips like this, and just watch your fingers when you do this. But cut it into thin strips, and then you're going to mince it. And as you can see, I've got some minced already on the board here, just to kind of keep things going. So what we want to do is get ourselves about 1 tablespoon of this, and we're going to throw this right into that ricotta that I have over here waiting for us. We'll put this orange aside, we'll get into the mint. Now the mint you can find in your fresh produce section of your grocery store. And what you want to do is you don't want to chop this stem, because the stem's really thick and it's kind of barky. So you want to take the leaves right off the stem, and you're going to chiffonade them like basil. And what chiffonade means is to take the leaf and kind of stack them together and roll them, and then give it a nice thin slice, almost like little julienne strips of mint. And again, about the same thing, about 1 tablespoon, maybe 1.5 tablespoons of fresh mint that will go into that ricotta. And then we'll season this up. Mix this up real well. And we'll get right into the fruit compote. Now this is a simple springy fruit compote. It's made with, I've got a little bit of orange juice, and right here I've got about 1/2 cup of orange juice that I'm going to pour into the pan here. And I've got about a 1/4 cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice. And I'm going to pour that in there as well. And what we're going to do here is we're going to bring this up to a boil, and then we're going to add about 1/2 cup of sugar to it. And what that's going to do is it's going to create almost like a simple syrup. It's made with juice instead of water, and that's going to give it a real nice fruity flavor. And then along with that, I've got about 8 strawberries quartered and peeled, and I've got about 3/4 cup of fresh blueberries. So we've got this coming up. We're going to go ahead and throw the sugar right in there. so we can get that syrup going and get that started. Get that sugar to break down in there. And what this is going to do is it's going to get thick as it goes. It's going to turn into like a sauce almost, just because of the caramelization. And one of the beautiful things you're going to see as we add this fruit, now see, look at the edges here, you can start to see it come up. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our fruit right into this. And in no time at all, this is going to come right up, and you can already start to see it coming together. It's turning into a sauce a little bit here. So we're going to keep that action going. And it's amazing that once it starts to roll, let's see if you notice something. Now if you look real close at the sauce, you can start to see it's starting to change color. That's the juices from the blueberries. The heat's overtaking them, and they're really starting to make a nice color out of this. And as you can see, it's rolling right through. It's like a caramel now. You should be able to smell this. I'm telling you, this is awesome. The orange juice, the lemon juice, and the sugar balance beautifully. And we're almost ready here. So what we're going to do is, while this is finishing up on the simmer, we're going to go ahead and we're going to set our plate up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take maybe 1/4 of the portion that we just did of the ricotta, and we're going to set it right in the bottom of the bowl, and we're going to set it aside here. And I've already got some croutons ready to go, and I'm going to show you what the croutons should look like. We'll set them up right here on the board. But see, as they come out, they're going to get a nice golden color here. And this is what we're going to use to garnish the top of this dessert. So as the sauce comes up here, we take the spoon here. Just be careful, because this is like caramel. And when you have sugar boiling, it's really, really hot, and it will burn you. So now I'm going to bring this right over to the bowl, and I'm going to drizzle this phenomenal sauce right over the top of that ricotta cheese. Let's turn that so you can see that love right there. Then we're going to garnish with some of these croutons, and I'm going to give you a little mint right on top. And there you have it, folks. That is your sweet ricotta and ciabatta, sweet ciabatta crouton. Thank you very much for watching. Check out episode 3, and we'll see you next time.